And now, your main event. Introducing the hosts of Wrestling with Freddie, Jeff Dye, and Freddie Prinze Jr.
All right, you guys, we got a lot of action. Well, a lot of story action. They're pushing wrestling forward with story. Bruce Pritchard would say, it's a lot of talk, Freddie. It's a lot of talk. He didn't like all the talky. He wanted more wrestling. And he's right. But anyway, they're setting up a whole bunch of stuff on both AEW and WWE. We'll talk both. We'll get into everything, the week of wrestling. Don't forget, we're brand new on Monday Night Raw, so that's this week's Raw, not last week's Raw, giving you guys our opinions on the newest episodes, not the oldest episodes. And it's coming at you right now. We're coming at you from Los Angeles. WWE SmackDown, which is where we're going to start, is coming to you from Dallas, Texas, baby. Home of the Cowboys, home of the Rangers, right, Jeff? That's where the Rangers play out of, or are they Arlington? They're Dallas?
Arlington's kind of Dallas. Same thing.
Oh, is it the same? I don't know Texas very well, outside of like the wrestling towns like San Antonio when we would do the loop back in the day when I worked there. And even then, you're just in the hotels. I'm not getting to see the city. It's the arena, which was where the rodeo was. It's actually kind of cool. And this cool hotel that was it was like an old Spanish fort is what it looked like. And even the rooms were like adobe style. And I was like, this shit reminds me of New Mexico. But anyway, I digress.
Do you think wrestlers regret that? Like when they get old, do you think they go, man, I wish I'd have seen the cities more?
I think so. The older I get, the more I'm like, man, I traveled with WWE for the better part of 2 years. Well, two separate times over 2 years. And I didn't see shit.
Yeah, because
I didn't see shit.
I can't speak for all the wrestlers, obviously, and maybe there are some who go explore and they go see the city. So I don't want them hearing this and going, what are you talking about? But I'm imagining there's a lot of wrestlers who the travel is so tight that by the time you get there and you check in and you work out or you prepare for your thing or get to the arena, there isn't a time to go get lunch. There's not time to go sightsee. And then you're leaving the next day. So I'm wondering if they go, yeah, I've been to 5,000 cities in 20 countries and I didn't see shit. So I wonder if they regret that.
You know, I think it's probably closer to like 50-50 because I probably follow a lot more wrestlers on Instagram than you do. And when they're in another city or another country, like they're posting from touristy sightseeing places, like here's the Eiffel Tower. And it's like, yo, okay, that's way Griswold, but right on. And then I think there's probably 50% that are so fucking exhausted and their bodies hurt so bad that they just want to lay in bed until it's time to go to freaking work and then do their job and get home to their family. And then those are the ones that I think when they hit my age, and I'm almost 50 years old, where you're like, shit, I was in Prague and I didn't see the Capitol building. Like I didn't see, that funky bar that everyone told me they're cool to wrestlers in or actors in. I actually did. This actor named Jürgen Prochnow, this German actor, he took me to this cool bar where they love actors and there's like movie posters all over the walls. He took me in and I wasn't, I hadn't done much work yet. I had just done I Know What You Did Last Summer and this little movie called The House of Yes. And we went in and this he wasn't German. He was Prague-ish. I don't know what you call the Progs, bro. So he was, himself. He was a wonderful man. And he literally goes, it had just come out. And he goes, I know what you did. And that's all he could say in English was, I know what you did. He couldn't even say last summer. And Jürgen spoke to him in German and gave him the whole setup and who I was. And the whole bar treated me awesome. We didn't pay for any drinks. We got
and
really,
you've regretted
really drunk.
Missing that.
Yeah, man, I really would have. I had great memories with Jürgen. We would rent motorcycles and ride through Europe, because we were in Luxembourg, which borders 3 other countries, France, Germany, and Belgium. And so in a full day, we could literally go through 4 countries in Europe on these awesome KTM motorcycles, these Austrian motorcycles. He would dress in all leather, and he was he's super famous in Europe. He was in this movie called Das Boot, which was this famous movie, World War II German U-boat movie. And he was the captain of that ship. Anyway, I'm not talking about wrestling, but Europe's cool. And I agree that I'm sure the ones that don't get to see it regret it later in life.
For sure.
All right. So we're at the American Airlines Center. Pretty sure that's where the Mavericks play. And Tiffany Stratton opened the show. She's healthy. She's back. I think she probably only lost the title because maybe she had an injury that was nagging her and she needed to rehab or something. But they gave the title to Jade Cargill. Tiffany's letting everybody know that she's back. She reminded Dallas that she qualified for the Elimination Chamber coming up. Again, lots of story pushing the premium live event, the fucking pay-per-view. It's so stupid. Well, you don't pay for it anymore. You're paying out the ass. Trust me. They're talking Elimination Chamber. And then Nia Jax and Last Legend come out. And they do the thing that they do with women wrestlers where they act juvenile and petty. And Jeff and I aren't big fans of that. Fortunately, Rhea Ripley and Io Sky came out, told everybody shut the hell up and let's settle things and throw some fists. But this story is all about Tiffany Stratton. She is back. She's making a statement, and she's going to be my pick, I think, to win the I think. Let's see. We're not there yet, but I think she's going to win the Elimination Chamber, and I think they're going to try to get the belt back on her now that she's feeling good. I think. What'd you think about the segment? Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? How do you feel?
I don't know why I don't think of Tiffany Stratton as an Elimination Chamber type of wrestler. You know, before, when it was all Alexa Bliss. And Liv Morgan was just kind of like this like SmackDown-y version of Alexa Bliss. Like she wasn't the big star that Liv Morgan is now. They'd make Liv Morgan like she's the badass one who will use weapons, and she's the Alexa Bliss if it was like a hardcore rules match. And I think of similar with Tiffany Stratton, like she's the opposite of that. She's the yin to the weapony kind of Elimination Chamber-y.
I see that.
Yang.
I see that. Because she's this blonde bombshell. She's beautiful, and you almost don't want to see her get bloodied up and battered. You want to see like a straight wrestling match where
when she broke her teeth in that match, you were like, what?
That's hardcore. That was like when Claudio did it.
But if you saw like other female wrestlers that would have had that injury, you'd be like, heck yeah, that makes sense, you know? But for whatever reason, I think of Tiffany Stratton as like this badass, can go off the top rope, can do these things, dude. But I don't see her as like an Elimination Chamber type person. So if she won, that would be awesome because I don't know. I just would have never expected that. So it's interesting that that's your pick. I liked this. I'm noticing a pet peeve that I'm wondering if it's just me being a hater or if I'm onto something.
What?
It seems that now, like when someone is the guy, right? Someone is the woman, right? Whether it's Jade Cargill, whether it's Roman Reigns, whether it's Damian Priest, or even CM Punk sometimes, they seem to think being the guy means not acting. That just walking down, no expression, no like delivering the lines, no passion. It seems like they're they're being taught like, well, you're the most confident, you're the most baddest. And there's just the kind of this like no selling aspect of their storytelling. Now their matches and their moves, they're selling, obviously. But it seems like so when Roman Reigns walks down the ramp, he just walks down and he doesn't look at anyone. He doesn't say anything. And then he gets in the ring slow and then he just looks around while everyone cheers. And then he very calmly delivers his lines. That's what Jade Cargill's doing. That and
even CM Punk has done it a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm not crazy about it. Like I get that you're confident, I get that you're the guy, but like let's sell some lines here. Let's sell some story. And I don't like that I'm seeing Jade Cargill do it.
I wonder if it's a conscious shift in character or if it's an unconscious shift in personality. I wonder which one it is. You know what I mean? Because I wonder if that's planned and they're like, well, you're a champion, so you walk like this now, you talk like this now. Or if their ego is saying, I'm the champ now, I'm the man. I wonder which one that is, Jeff. That's interesting.
When
I don't
Cena
know.
was doing
it,
it's because he was a heel, you know? Like Cena was like doing it as like, I'm intentionally
maybe that's
no
what it
selling.
Is. Well, no, because baby faces are doing it too. Yeah, that's weird, dude.
It's very strange. And also like Cena, like it didn't work. Like people didn't like it because Cena was, punishing the audience, saying you don't deserve me. And so that's why he was not doing it. But to watch a face and a heel and these big stars do it is very puzzling.
I like it, Jeff Dye. All right, next up, we had Alexa Bliss. I almost said Alyssa Blex. Alexa Bliss. Sometimes I'm dyslexic. Julia and Zelina Vega came out. Alexa whooped both their asses, got her finished with a little help from Charlotte Flair. Unimportant. What is important is Alexa Bliss is in the Elimination Chamber, always gives a good match in there, takes a serious beating in there, and does cool flips off the top one time. Charlotte Flair gave her a little help, but the story is the breakup between Alexa and Charlotte and the tension that's there as Alexa has earned her spot in the Elimination Chamber, which we all know if you win, you get to call a shot as well. So Charlotte Flair is Becky's the man, but Charlotte Flair is the man when it comes to women's championships. Like, she's going to be like her dad. Like, it's going to be the unreachable number. And Alexa now has a claim to that title as well through the Elimination Chamber, and she's a multi-time world champion. These two can't exist on the same plane at the same time. It's like Jean-Claude Van Damme and Time Cop. Like, the old you and the new you cannot touch. You can't exist in the same space, or you're both going to implode. These two can't have it. Their egos are going to get in the way. They're going to break up. And I think they're doing little things to show us that. I mean, we've all seen it. Little things and big things to show that, hey, man, I know we're bros right now, but that shit is more important than us being bros. And that's where it's going. And I don't know who to root for. I think I'm going to root for Bliss because Charlotte's got a lot of friggin' title reigns and Bliss hasn't had one in a long time. But I don't know, man. I like both chicks a lot. So we'll see. We'll see. Jeff, what did you think?
I thought the match was great, actually.
Yeah.
A nice three-way match. It was very exciting. A lot of stuff going on. Is Julia LA Knight of the women's division? I don't know what is going to get. I thought for sure this was like they'd find a match for Alexa because she's a star. You know, Alexa's the man, like you just said. But I thought maybe Alexa would lose. Julia would get her push. I'm really puzzled on what they're doing with Julia. I was very, very, I don't know, just surprised that she was in this match because I'm like, Julia and Alexa can't win. We're kind of used to Zelina Vega not getting these big opportunities. So
yeah.
Like the whole thing was just kind of puzzling to me. But wanted to run that by you. I don't know what you think about Julia.
I think that's a great point because didn't even say this, but you know that Zelina's not winning that match, even though she's a friend of the show, guest of the show. We love you, but she wasn't winning that match. They don't have the right push behind her right now. I thought Lexi would do the job for Julia because Julia is the new talent, but maybe they say because she has a title on already that she doesn't need that, and they're developing that story. Yeah, maybe that's their excuse. But yeah, I would like to see a better push for her as well. I don't know. You know, it would be sick if she had like Paul Heyman talking for her.
Amazing.
Yeah, but maybe that's what's slowing it down a little bit is that her mouthpiece is also new as well. Kiana James, I think is her name. And she's pretty good, but she's not Paul Heyman. You know what I mean? So it's going to be hard for that voice to get her over as she's still developing her skills and adding tools to her tool belt, so to speak. So maybe that's why. But I thought Julia was going to win that match too. I just didn't say it. That's funny that you brought that up.
Regarding the Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair thing, I don't know how much the fans are behind Charlotte Flair.
They never are they?
I think
always get
she's
so mad
really
at
lost the audience when it comes to just everything in the last 5 years. I feel like people are like, Charlotte? Like, I don't know. She doesn't have that heat she once had. So I'm happy to see Alexa. I'd rather see an Alexa push than a Charlotte push.
Alexa definitely got the biggest pop out of all the women in the match. And she usually gets like the second or third biggest pop of the night when she comes out. So the crowd's definitely still behind her for sure. Next up, Jade Cargill finally defended. That's funny. That sounded like that. There was an old NXT Hawaiian wrestler that he never got called up. His name was Kona something. And he would say, the finest. And he'd wear like the finest jackets and wear the finest watches.
I kind of like
and when
that.
I did too. When I said finally, it sounded like that guy. Anyway, Jade Cargill finally defeated Jordynne Grace. This was, I think everybody knew who was going to win, but it was a smart match. And let me just tell you why I think it was. She hasn't defended her title. I don't think once since she won it, and has to beat somebody. But you don't want to weaken anyone. And if you're going to put the title back on Tiffany, you want to take it off of Jade, not off of Jordan, because Tiffany and Jordan are both baby faces, and Jade is like this hybrid where she does rude things, but we like it. You know, she's like Han Solo in that regard. She can say F you and everybody's like, yeah, F you, yeah. So her and Jordan is this TNA powerhouse who came out of nowhere, had a really cool Rumble, and you knew would give a good match. She's strong as hell. She got Jade up crazy. I mean, she's strong. My wife watched this match with me, and literally she was like, oh my God. She was like, she's huge. I was like, yeah, she's as wide as she is tall. Like, that chick is
so
thick.
strong, which is what I like.
So freaking strong, man. I love when you can just power bodies around and slam people around, like the way Batista would manhandle Rey Mysterio back in the day, like, or Razor Ramon and 1, 2, 3 Kid. Like, that shit was just awesome when you see someone actually get to use their muscles. Yeah, what's up?
Let me defend something really fast, too, when we talk about these subjects. When I'm always going, oh, she's so strong, he's so strong, these body guys, these big, strong guys, right? Because Vince used to get criticized for this same thing. Oh, he just likes these big, giant freaks. He likes these steroid guys. He's like these big, strong guys. Now, listen, I understand everyone's annoyance with it. This isn't the circus anymore. You don't want these big, veiny... I get it. I get the criticism. But the reason guys like me like a Jordan Grace or a Ultimate Warrior or some big giant is because, one, it's larger than life. It's very showy. But two, it makes it believable. But when you see a Jordan Grace lift up a Jade Cargill, and when you see these big, strong guys, it does make you go, man, these two are strong as hell. And that, like, it just makes it a little bit more believable is all.
When Raquel Rodriguez chucks a chick halfway across the ring, that shit is cool. It looks awesome, man. I love seeing strongmen, like the strongman competitions where they're picking up boulders from each like pedestal and having to put on, like, that shit's badass to me. So you don't have to defend it to me because I'm on your side with that. I like seeing powerhouses do powerhouse stuff.
100%. It makes you think, oh, I wouldn't step to Drew McIntyre. But then you see like a different wrestler and you're like, why are we intimidated by this guy? Like, I don't really believe that I'd be afraid of this person. So, like, it just keeps the story alive is all.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the smaller guy is like the John McClane thing, right? John McClane from the Die Hard movies, for those of you who are young and are like, who the hell's John McClane?
But that's like Time Cop earlier. I don't think we're worried about
yeah, my bad. That's my bad, bro. You're right. Good
Best
call.
reference I've ever heard.
But, it's that blue collar where you're like, if I was in this situation, that's what I would do. I'd save all the hostages from Nakatomi Plaza just like him. Even though I'm not big enough, or strong enough, or smart enough, I'd find a way because I'm tough enough. I can take a beating more than he can. That's John McClane. That's Bruce Willis. That's every role Bruce Willis played except like when he played like the cool dudes and stuff like that. But that was Bryan Danielson. And Vince's philosophy was like, that dude can win once in a while. But 9 times out of 10, he's going to get his ass beat by the bigger guy. And so that's why he wouldn't give these dudes a shot. And unless you're like an MMA fighter, that's pretty much the way life works. I know we don't like to think that way anymore. We like to go, well, everyone can do everything. Well, all right. Yes, if you have a big enough dream and you're committed enough, you might be able to accomplish anything. But if you get in a fight with a dude that's 275 pounds and you weigh 165 pounds and you're not like the best martial artist of your generation, you're getting smashed on, bro.
And really lucky.
And you gotta have some luck. But it's just life. Like, that's just the way it goes, man. Like, the big lion usually beats the small lion. Like, this is
take
the way it
women's
goes.
sports. Like you could take the best MMA female wrestler or MMA like female fighter and put her against like a guy. It isn't that guys are smarter or better or anything. We're just bigger. Bigger is the advantage. Women are just as good at these sports as we are, but we are larger. When you add larger, it's going to be an advantage. So it doesn't matter how much heart Daniel Bryanson has. When you put him in a ring with Bobby Lashley,
Oh my God, bro.
That's a wrap, dude. Like, it doesn't matter what his dreams are.
That's funny. All right. So we got the match, two powerhouses. Jordan did the job, took the finish, like a one-armed finish. She took it like a champ. And that was the match. And it at least it gives us something from Jade, because we haven't gotten a match from her yet. We haven't even got much of a story except her saying, I'll whip everybody's ass. I'm Jade fucking Cargill. What are you going to do about it? Jordan was the one who stepped up, and she was the one that got, beat down. But she put some hurt on Jade as well. And Jade sold like a mug in that match. So I thought it was good. It was a little quick. I would have liked it to go like 2 or 3 minutes longer. We'll talk about another match later in the show that should have gone much longer. I would argue could have been the main event, but we'll get to that. It was an AEW match. And we'll move on from there. Cody Rhodes, everybody's favorite. Still? Do you guys still love him? I love him. But maybe some of you guys are like, Cody, he won again. Well, meanwhile, I'm like, yeah, you're damn right he won again. Cody Rhodes defeated Sami Zayn and Jacob Fatu despite Drew McIntyre's desire for Sammy to win so he could get another easy match from his philosophy. But maybe that'd be the time Sammy beat your ass, Drew. You better watch out for my boy. So even though that happened, Cody's still a stud and kicked out like a real man and got the finish, got the win. And he's going to the Elimination Chamber, which gives us the never-ending story, so to speak. There's another 80s movie that none of you guys will know. But Cody's story never ends. It never ends, because he's always going to be in the championship picture as long as he's still at that company, and you just have to deal with it, people. So he got the win. We'll find out what's going to happen with Jacob Fatu. I would have liked to see Jacob Fatu in the Elimination Chamber, if I'm being honest. I wish he wouldn't have been in that Eliminator. I wish he would have been in a different match and won, and he would have gotten another slot in there, which would have been cool. But everybody doesn't get to go, and maybe it's just not his time yet. But yeah, I liked the match. The match was really cool, but I really wanted Jacob to win that match. And I was just kind of bummed that he didn't. What about you?
Yeah, I literally would. If I had to bet all my money, I would have bet Jacob Fatu won this match.
Right?
I thought for sure that's where that was going. So this kind of surprised me. I wasn't disappointed because I love Cody Rhodes. But Jacob Fatu is the opposite of what I was claiming earlier about Tiffany Stratton in the chamber. I can't think of a more Elimination Chambery wrestler than Jacob Fatu. Like this is like his wheelhouse, or it seems like something that would be his wheelhouse. I don't know why they didn't do that, but I guess Cody Rhodes is a giant star, and he's going to get these kind of things no matter what. It's kind of like a no-brainer for them to put it in it, but I really wish they would have. I wish it would have been Jacob Fatu. I'm glad it wasn't Sammy. No offense.
Oh, that sucks for you to say that. Oh, I hate hearing that. I love Sammy. Yeah, it's weird with Jacob. Like he's made for that match. He's the biggest badass babyface on that roster right now, on the SmackDown roster. And if Drew's a babyface, then you could argue Drew's the biggest badass babyface on the roster, because everybody loves babyface Drew. But now he's kind of cowardly, right, and taking the easy way out. But so Jacob has that right now over everybody. So I really thought the most badass match is the Elimination Chamber, or maybe you could argue Hell in a Cell, but I think Elimination Chamber maybe. And so for him to not be in it is just kind of weird. Like, I want to see him in the box and just like break out of it. You know what I mean? And just shatter the plastic and all that shit. What are you going to say something? What were you going to say?
No, I agree. He's kind of like a caged werewolf, like putting him in that plastic, dude. Watching him freak out.
And break the chains and, go kill a bunch of people in the village and then get back and go, what happened the next day? He's badass, dude. We're going to Monday Night Raw, Jeff. Straight out of the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee. A lot of comedians, musicians, and actors have moved to Memphis, Tennessee. It's a lot more affordable to live there. The director I just worked with, her and her husband are moving there because California's very, very expensive. They love their wrestling. Well, I went to a bunch of shows there when I worked for the company. It's always a hot crowd. It's been there since the territories. They've loved wrestling. And it was a good crowd last night. First, we had the Vision with the Usos and LA Knight. We got a 6-man tag and we got some story, people. WWE gave you both. And by the way, I got to say this, and then I'm actually just going to throw to you and I'll jump in afterwards. You were first on Bronson Reed. You were first on Bronson Reed before Paul Heyman was hot on Bronson Reed. Before Paul Heyman represented Bronson Reed, Jeff Dye was pushing Bronson Reed on you guys. And let me just say, he has evolved so much, so quickly, and he's so calm and cool and like just comes off like a human being in the backstage segments where he can just kind of like be himself, that never feels like a line has been scripted for him in the last couple weeks. It just feels like he's talking, and it feels authentic and truthful and real. And he's a stone killer in the ring. Like, he's starting to become very three-dimensional. And I was just like, yeah, dude, he's big and cool, but I never looked at him the way you looked at him. You were first on that. So what did you think about the segment and Bronson Reed and all that glory?
Well, I love Bronson Reed, one, because you can, when someone has an accent, it also makes them seem like a much better actor. Like
no, that's dead on. That's dead on.
He nailed that promo, because it's like with the, like, you just, I don't know, maybe that's how the accent sounds. He also has a 1985 wrestling body where he's like this perfect shape of like Typhoon and Earthquake. Like, he's got this, like, he's big, but he's also super strong. He's just like this sturdy guy. And so I like guys like that. While we're talking about size, what has happened with the Vision? Every one of their guys are just getting bigger and stronger. Logan Paul's
Austin Theory's arms. Like, both those dudes are jacked.
They're all just getting bigger. I don't know what's happening. I mean, obviously it's a slow roll over time, but in the last like year or whatever, like, they just are getting so strong, which is awesome. So I like the size of the Vision. I obviously love anything Paul Heyman puts together or does. The whole thing works so good. I'm super excited to figure out who the Man in the Mask is. I love that they keep doing this. I love that we kind of have like a mystery wrestler that keeps popping up. They're doing a lot of masked things, with the El Americano or Grande Americano, or, we've had 3 different masked men at this point that are different people. And so I love that that's happening. I love everything they're doing with the Vision. It's clearly the new bloodline, as far as it's such a big part of the storyline every single week. Can't say enough good things about Paul Heyman interrupting, or the Vision coming out and Paul Heyman yelling over them, doing the "It's Just Me Oos" like Yeet entrance.
Yeah. I knew you loved that. I know you loved that. That was really smart.
Turn off the music, because nothing crushes the hearts of these young kids and all the people that are in Memphis. They're all going like, I'm going to be on the screen with Jey Uso and Jimmy Uso doing the Yeet, like, when it comes to Memphis, I hope I'm in the crowd. So for him to just shut that down and like them to be like, this is stupid, what are you doing? It was absolute genius in my opinion. Who do you think the Masked Man is?
Who does the internet think the Masked Man is? Do you know?
I haven't
Do we
been
know?
looking. I've heard Jake Paul. I've heard, what's his name? The Australian guy. Gosh.
Grayson Waller?
Grayson Waller. These are the things I've heard peripherally, but I haven't like looked it up.
Yeah, I have no idea, man. It's not Seth. It would never be Seth. He'd come out with a mask off and stomp everybody's skull and beat the shit out of everyone and then cut a promo over him. So I don't know, dude. But I'll tell you this. I liked everything they did except the box, Jeff. I didn't like the box and what's in the box, as Brad Pitt would say from Seven. And it better not be a Chris Jericho Fozzy thing where it's like you see his jacket or some bullshit. Like, Chris Jericho better come in cooler and hotter than that when he does come in. But yeah, I don't know who the freaking Masked Man is. I wish I had a smart, cool take that you guys could bet on one of those futures websites that doesn't sponsor our show. So F them. Don't do that. But yeah, I don't know, dude. But it was a cool ass segment. He stomped Logan Paul's head. That made the crowd real happy. I don't know. It can't be Jake Paul. It can't be. And I don't know why it would be Grayson when he's doing New Day stuff. So I don't think it's either of those, but I can't tell. I don't have the balls to make a guess. That's what everyone's saying right now.
Well, the problem is, it's like, I feel like whoever it is, I'll be a little disappointed because I'm wanting it to be something so exciting. Like, I don't know, man.
it might be really cool. We don't know. We don't know, dude. It might be really, really cool.
Well, when it was Austin Theory, I was like, crap. And then, but then when Austin Theory like started talking and saying why he did it, and then now that he's in the group, like now I'm huge on Austin Theory. Initially disappointed that it was him and not someone else, but then I was like, no, this is awesome. So maybe it'll be like that. But I just don't know who's in there.
So this match and story, first of all, made Bronson look fan-fucking-tastic. Monday Night Raw was the Bronson Reed show last night, the backstage segment and the in-ring shit. When he just calmly said, I solve problems, I was just like, yeah, you fucking do. Like, I'm not gonna mess with that guy. But he looked fantastic. They're controlling this narrative now, even without Braun Breaker. Everybody wants this Braun Breaker push. He's hurt. They said it on the show, you guys. You want him to friggin' die out there? Like, let the guy get healthy. He'll come back, and then he can kick ass and be the world champion, and everyone will be happy. But the vision looks great. Can't wait for Seth Rollins to get back and start to dismantle them. I can't wait to see who gets turned out, right? Like, who are they going to turn on and beat the hell out of and turn babyface? Probably Austin. I'm guessing Austin. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of fun stuff out of the vision. It's Paul Heyman, so it's always going to be one of the best stories. Maybe not always. I'm sure they're not all winners, but lately he's had all winners when he's involved in a storyline.
As a former writer of WWE, Freddie, I'll ask you this: why are we even having a masked man when the masked man was a prior storyline before whoever this guy was, when we learned it was later Austin Theory? It made sense to have a masked man because the reveal would be like, this is the guy who's in the vision, it's a new vision member. That's very exciting. They do those sort of things with like NWO, like, who is this new NWO member? But this guy is attacking the vision, right? Why even have a masked man? Like, why is he masking himself? Why is he hiding himself if there's no stakes? Why wouldn't he just be who he is, attacking the vision?
I will answer your question as politely as I know how. And I would just say, when I worked there, I didn't write any masked wrestler storylines. I wouldn't even work with the Masked Magician when they tried to get me to do that on SmackDown. I'm not. Yeah. I'm only into masks if it's on a luchador. That's it. That's the only.
You love masks. I'm just wondering because it's like, unless there's a wrestler like maybe Jericho, like you were saying earlier, like he isn't even here yet, and this is a way to build him. Because other than that, I don't really see why you need him to be masked.
Yeah, I mean, you could argue that if you flipped it up and we all knew who it was, and week to week he was just wreaking havoc on them, and then they were actually looking for someone with a face that they knew, that might be a more compelling story. You could make that argument. You never know. It's a very old school way to tell a story. Same with the box. It's a very old school way, and I'm just hoping it's not the gobbledygooker again.
That'd be amazing.
No, it wouldn't. I would cry.
I'd love it.
We had another Elimination Chamber qualifier. Asuka defeated Natalya and Bayley. You got to know Natalya's not winning this match going in because her story's with Maxine. I thought Maxine was going to come out and interfere with the match, but Maxine got her ass after the match and put some beatdowns on Natty. I like what Maxine's doing. It was awesome to see Asuka get a win that'll put her in that match again, a big-time match. I don't think she's going to win the Chamber, but it's awesome to see her in the Chamber, if that makes sense. And that's how I feel about that. Jeff, what about you?
I thought it was great. All of this makes sense. Asuka in the Chamber is perfect. I like this new Natty, by the way. I wasn't sure of it at first, but I think I do like it. I think it works. She looks better. She looks cool. And then I love everything Maxine does.
Liv Morgan and Stephanie Vaquer, the segment that made a lot of people who don't speak Spanish angry. But I think it's awesome. I love that Stephanie Vaquer doesn't respect Liv Morgan enough to speak English to her. I think that's amazing. I think she's talking shit so that her people can hear it, and she doesn't care who else does, which makes her kind of badass and ruthless. And I love that Dominic's always there to translate the parts that he can. Like, he's like, I'm not going to say that. That might hurt your feelings. Oh, hey, wait, that's a little too far. Stephanie, take it easy. Like, Dom is this perfect kind of this person in the middle of the situation. He's the translator who's like, well, I can't tell her you said that. And he's the man. He's awesome. Liv Morgan did her thing. She was very emotional in the segment. Stephanie Vaquer didn't give a shit. She just kept blasting on her. I know the segment probably made some people angry. I'm sorry if it made you angry. You'll be all right though. It's just professional wrestling. I loved it and I thought it was great.
Why do you think it would make people angry?
Because I saw like some wrestling stuff like on the internet where like other podcasters were like, I don't want to hear my champion speaking Spanish in the middle of the ring. And I was just like, bro, I'm like, get over it, dude. Like it's everybody's here. Everybody lives here, man. Like people are going to do their thing.
Wrestling is international. Wrestling has always been international.
And America's dope. Like everybody can come here and do their thing. Like it's fucking awesome. Exactly. So yeah, just be cool.
Yeah.
Who do you think Liv Morgan's going to wrestle, by the way? Who the fuck is she going to pick? This is the first time I've had no idea. I was certain it was Stephanie. Then I was like, oh, no, it's Jade. And now I'm like, nah, it's got to be Stephanie. Stephanie just shit all over her and almost baby-faced her in that fucking segment.
Yeah, it's got to be Vaquer.
It's got to be, right?
And Stephanie is such a star. Like, I mean, Stephanie Vaquer is the Cody Rhodes of the women's division where it comes. I mean, because everyone likes her. No one really hates Stephanie Vaquer. There'll probably be some wrestling fans who are indifferent, but nobody ever, like, it makes total sense. She's been built as this badass final boss. So that's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, she's the shit, man. She got a push, and I think she got it for a really good reason. And her matches are awesome, and she's got a moveset that everybody loves, and it's appealing to any kind of style that you're into. She's dope, and I thought she was great in the backstage segment. It almost babyfaced Liv Morgan, but it was still a fun segment. All right, CM Punk and Finn Balor. Here's what happened, people. CM Punk came out with a T-shirt that was custom made from Memphis, Tennessee. Very not punk. I'm just gonna say it's not very punk rock to cater to the crowd like that. I'm just saying. And
he's not.
And the hair looking very corporate, perfect hairline, very Christian Bale from American Psycho, like very not punk rock, man. He's the corporate champion, like when The Rock turned his back on the people.
CM Pop.
Oh, see, dude. Anyway, he came out. The crowd cheered. He appreciated them. He asked everybody how it felt to be alive in Memphis, Tennessee. They said it feels good, CM Punk. It feels damn good. It's better than being dead. And then here comes Finn Balor. And CM Punk, first of all, he was like, hey, I know everyone's worried I'm going to lose the title. Ain't nobody worried you're going to lose the title, bro. Relax. So here comes Finn Balor, and he's like, yeah, you're going to wreck WrestleMania. I'm going to save WrestleMania. Here comes JD McDonough, big old head JD McDonough, Dominic Mysterio coming out, handsome Dominic Mysterio coming out, and they're surrounding him. Then they all get in the ring, and he's like, relax, Punk, relax, man. We're not going to beat your ass, even though you're not punk rock anymore. Sweet hairline, by the way. And a natural hairline, too, which is pretty punk rock to not get any work done. All right, so there's a little punk rock left in him. But Finn Balor and him had their standoff, and CM Punk turned his back on him. He's like, you're going to jump me, dude. Jump me now. And be a little bitch like I know you are. And Finn Balor's like, yo, I ain't no bitch. And JD McDonough's like, let me go smack this guy. And Finn Balor's like, nah. And JD McDonough's like, what? Whoa, bro. Why are you holding me back? And Finn's like, hey, it's cool, man. I got this. And CM Punk's thrown some seeds, and he's fertilized the seeds and watered the seeds of doubt and hoping to pull Finn Balor from this group that's pulling Finn down so that he can be a main event player once again. And that's what the people want, Finn. So maybe you should listen, because we all love you. We all believe in you, man. The people love you. Whether you're a demon or a human, we love you. They had a backstage segment later where JD McDonough was really speaking up for himself and showing well. And Finn Balor's not having it, though. He wants to win this title. He wants to do it by himself. He wants to show that he's the best out of everyone in the Judgment Day, even though Dominic's got 2 titles, baby, and a hot woman. Finn's got no woman, at least not on TV. And no titles, baby. You lost your tag titles. Deal with that. So anyway, that was the segment. It was pretty good. Not my favorite CM Punk promo ever. But like you said, when they're champions, maybe it's a little harder to cut the passion promo because everyone's passionate about getting that title off of you. I don't know. But anyway, that was the segment. What'd you think, dude?
It's good to see JD McDonough back. I love that guy. And here's another thing. I love Finn Balor. I love, Liv Morgan. I love Dirty Dom. I love, Mommy and Damian Priest back when he was in it. I love Raquel Rodriguez. But why are we still doing the Judgment Day? They don't, it doesn't feel like the Vision, they're like always together and they come out together and they act like a pack of hyenas and they're always, you always know they're looming around and they're working together and this Judgment Day doesn't feel like a team at all. It's always these two over here or these three over here or they got a match on their own or one guy's playing video games while the other guy's doing a promo. I'm like, it doesn't feel like they're together in any sense of the word. So I don't really understand why we have the Judgment Day. I think we need to rethink the Judgment Day. Maybe just make those wrestlers all their own thing. I don't know why we're forcing them to pretend like they're in a segment together and then like these guys are having a different promo once they walk away. Now it goes into these two different guys' promos. It seems very forced and it doesn't seem like they're like a cohesive stable at all.
Yeah, it's weird, man. It started as something really cool with Edge, Damian, Rhea, that group. Then they turned out Edge. Damian and Rhea ran it. They were really cool. And now it feels like just a promo to sell the video game, to sell 2K.
Yeah,
which is weird. Like, yeah, they're all better than that. And everybody already buys WWE 2K, so you don't have to do promos for it when we're trying to get people over. Like, just do an actual promo like an interstitial in between matches. Go, and don't forget the new WWE 2K game is out this week. You don't make like the wrestlers play it backstage when I'm wanting them to be badass and cool. It's and that's all they do now. So it's weird. It's weird.
Also, like when you saw the Bloodline having like problems together, like it kind of made sense because you're like, well, that's how families fight. They're in this bloodline together and they're having their differences, but they're going to work it out for the betterment of their family. Like that's how things work. Whereas with the Judgment Day, you're like, why? What's keeping them together? If you're having a problem with it and you're all going, but what about me? Well, I want to win, but I have a championship match, and hey, who's gonna like what's keeping them together?
Yeah, that's weird. And by the way, why do they still call it a clubhouse? Clubhouses are for little kids, man. Like that's some kid shit.
Also,
like,
it's just some place in the hallway of an event center. It's not. They didn't even give them a room to use. It's like at least put it in a room. We can tell what you're doing.
All right, shit, we're running out of time, Jeff. We talked a lot today. The Elimination Chamber qualifier with Javon Evans, Gunther, and Dominic Mysterio. Now, you know Dominic's not going to win it, which sucks, but I did think Gunther was gonna. And the fact that Javon Evans is now the wild card in the Elimination Chamber is friggin' awesome. Absolutely awesome. We're going to pause for one moment because this is hysterical to me. You're going to give Alex so much sound editing to do. Just open it. Just tell me to shut up and open it, bro.
It's completely pointless.
You're just making a mess.
Some part like a kid. Yeah, sorry.
I don't even care. Alex, don't even edit that out.
I took it away from the microphone behind my back.
It was so loud, bro. It was the only thing I could hear. Dude, what are you talking about? Behind your back, all of a sudden.
Ripping. It had nothing to do with it. It was not even important. All right.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. Javon Evans won the match. That was so sick, bro. That's the funniest thing you've ever done on the podcast. Not said, but done. That's amazing. I was like, is he opening a Christmas present? Like late?
Well, I was like fidgeting, like when you like try to not look at your phone or anything, you fidget with something.
I don't fidget, pal. I don't fidget. All right.
You're a good dad.
I'm self-control.
I'm
stoic. I'm a giant 6'5" child.
Exactly.
All right. So y'all didn't know Jeff. Y'all didn't know that Jeff was 6'5". He could have been a professional wrestler if he'd actually get jacked.
Heck yeah,
skinny
dude.
Little what? You could have been Batista. You could have been Batista. Anyway, this dude. I know I said we're sleeping on Carmelo Hayes last week. Nah, man, this dude flies higher than Carmelo Hayes. Like, this is crazy, dude. Like, his like Cody Cutter, so to speak, where he jumps off the ropes, the springboard Cody Cutter. He's going further across the ring than Cody does by a lot. Like, I feel like he could jump backwards across the whole ring. Like I know he can't, but I feel like he could because no one can. Or maybe he can. Maybe he can do anything. But he can fly, and it made the Elimination Chamber so much more fun because he's not winning it, obviously, but he's going to do some huge spots. He's going to take some huge Jeff Hardy beatings. And it's going to feel like it's not going to be as good as Jeff Hardy because Jeff Hardy was the best at being bendy and flexy and getting beat up and all that. But this dude's offense, whereas it was Jeff Hardy's, selling, which was so cool, is so exciting to watch. And I was totally shocked. And they protected Gunther. He didn't look bad in the loss because we had some interference there from Dragon Lee, which gives us a beat down that Dragon Lee is going to take from Gunther, which will be awesome. That's what I was talking about earlier when you see the huge guy beat up the little guy and throw him all the way across the ring. And all of a sudden the little guy comes back because he can literally climb this guy's body because it's a mountain and do sick luchador shit. Those matches are awesome, and that's what we'll get out of that. But I love the match. I love the finish, and I thought they made everybody look good who needed to look good. What about you?
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. I think this Javon Evans guy could make some of the best moments for the Elimination Chamber. There's a lot of shit for him to jump off of and do crazy things. Putting Javon Evans in this type of match like an Elimination Chamber is going to be exciting for a lot of big moments. So I'm pumped about that. I hope that's what they do.
Yeah, man, it's literally in my Instagram algorithm, and it's all in slow motion, and people have put music behind it and put Dragon Ball Z special effects on it. It's just dope. We're going to talk a little AEW before we go. But before we get to Grand Slam Australia, quick update on Dynamite and how we got to Australia. And I'll be very quick, I promise. Kenny Omega and Swerve Strickland, their rivalry explodes. Both men accuse the others of being punks, but neither guy's a punk. They're both dope. They just need to figure out a way to work this out and talk instead of wrestle. Just kidding. Kyle Fletcher regains the TNT Championship, defeating Tommaso Ciampa, which was weird to see Ciampa lose that quick, but Kyle Fletcher needed to go to Australia, the champ. It was a great fucking match. Young Bucks win the number one contender three-way tag match. Tekla dethroned Chris Statlander in a strap match. And that's everything that happened. Let's fly to Australia. It's a 17-hour flight, 14-hour flight. Here we go. All right, we're now in Sydney, Australia, everybody. It was a long flight, but don't worry. Everyone still speaks English, so there's no there's no culture shock. Bless you, sir. Jeff's allergic to Australia. He just landed. Evidently. And the pollen here is crazy, and the spiders are even crazier. But welcome to Australia. First up, we have Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita, and in another Continental Championship match, even though they've been in qualifiers for that. Here's what happened. Moxley and Takeshita beat each other's asses, evenly matched back and forth, but it ended in a 20-minute time limit draw, and you could tell that the crowd was kind of like, what? And then I saw this online where Jon Moxley goes to the ref and gives him a message to give to Takeshita, and then the ref goes to Takeshita while Takeshita's still selling pissed off, and he says, yo, you got to hit him with your finisher. The crowd's kind of pissed. Or this is the speculation to what's going on, but it looks just like that's what happened. That Takeshita gets up and beats Jon Moxley's ass, and the crowd goes, yeah, and they get the reaction they want, and everybody went home. But that was the match, and it's going to lead us to, hopefully, at Revolution, we'll get Moxley versus Takeshita 3. And there's got to be a stipulation this time where it can't end in a stalemate. There has to be a winner, and it's going to be Takeshita. That's where my money's on. You could probably get good odds on it already once they make the match. That's where you guys should bet your money. But it was still a cool match. The finish, I kind of felt the same way the audience did. And then when Takeshita hit him with his finisher, I felt the same way the audience did. But what did you think?
I loved it. I'm actually sitting here shocked that you can pronounce Takeshita so well, but
it's
not
so hard
Asuka.
for me, dude.
Whenever you say Asuka, you say Asaka or Asuka.
I say Asuka. I know. Yeah. I say it wrong every time, and it's
but
just
it's
a
great.
force
But you're
of habit.
nailing this. I'm not. I was reading it going, I don't even know how to say his name.
Because it looks like an American would say Takeshita, but it's Takeshita.
Yeah.
Konosuke Takeshita. And
whenever
Asuka.
someone has a tough name, I always just use their other name. I go, I don't know how to say.
Both his names are tough, bro.
Yeah, I don't know how to say Kempo from
the Bucks, the
Milwaukee Bucks, so I just call him Giannis. So I'm like, I don't know how to say Takeshita very good on my first try, so I'll just call him, and then I go, shit, Konosuke, Konsuke, I don't know how to say.
They're both hard, dude.
Anyways, very impressed. No, all this is great. I think Moxley is in his prime, dude. Moxley is doing so much great stuff. I can't say enough about the last 3 years of the Jon Moxley. Obviously, he was an indie guy when everyone fell in love with him. WWE, ironically, was his worst chapter, I think, of his entire wrestling career. And then now he's doing just masterful work, in my opinion. I love everything Moxley's doing. So I think this is going to be exciting. It's going to be great.
Side note, my wife got Giannis a table at a restaurant that he couldn't get into over All-Star Weekend.
Really? That's nice.
Yeah, she's like, I got you. And she called, the manager was like, wait, it's Giannis? She's like, I swear to God, it's just my hostess doesn't watch basketball. She didn't know. We'll get him a table right away.
She doesn't recognize 8-foot-tall guys with French
No,
accents.
he called. He called in. He called in. And he's like, but I'm Giannis Antetokounmpo. Please let me in. They wouldn't. Hangman Adam Page defeated Andrade. It was a sad moment for me because I wanted Andrade to win. But I knew Hangman was gonna. And my guy tried to cheat, which wasn't cool. And Hangman said, F you, F your cheating. And he gets the win over Andrade clean-ish. And he earns the next AEW World Championship match at Revolution against MJF. I didn't spoil anything. You knew he was going to win the Brody King match, so don't trip. But it reestablishes Hangman as a top-tier dude, as the number one dude. Andrade came in with huge momentum, but remember, Andrade had to cheat in every match to get to where he was. So how far can cheating take you? Not all the way, so don't do it, people. That's the lesson learned there in the AEW story. But Andrade and Don Callis together is like it's just beautiful stuff, man. Great wrestling and great talking from Don Callis. Great commentary, always on the microphone from Don Callis. His interaction with the crowd, with the match itself, with all the commentators, and to be able to manage all three of those things at once is just next level shit. So shout out to him. I like the match a lot. Hangman Page matches are real. They look stiff. I'm sure they're not, but they look real. You know, the punches and the impact, it all looks like they hit hard. But you love him, Jeff. So you tell me.
I got nothing to say about it. I agree. I like that it looks stiff. I don't even care if it is stiff. I think wrestling needs more. I don't care if you got to start really hitting each other. Let's work on these punches. Let's work on this stuff. And that's one thing AEW does way better than WWE. Their stuff looks so good. When I'm watching SmackDown and then I switch over and watch AEW, the difference in the wrestling in ring is 9 times better. So I like it. I'm a big fan.
All right, Jeff, we're running out of time here, but I definitely want to talk about the not the main event, but what I think should have been the main event and the championship match, which was the main event. Just know there was a hair versus hair match and hair was cut. And now let's get to the ladder match, which was made on Dynamite the Wednesday before this show. Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe for the TNT Championship match. Kyle Fletcher said, yeah, we're 3 versus 3 against each other. 3 wins, 3 losses. Let's break this fucking tie. You want to break this tie? You're going to break it in my hometown, Sydney, Australia, in a ladder match, which we've never done before. Mark Briscoe's like, what, baby? I was born on a ladder match. My father birthed me he had sex on a ladder, and that's how I was born. And he said yes to the match, as we all knew he would. And now we get Kyle Fletcher going home to Australia to get the hero's welcome versus Mark Briscoe, who went in looking for a fight with the audience. He was like, yeah, what? I know you hate me. What? I don't even care.
It's pretty good.
It's my Mark Briscoe impression, by the way. Thanks, man. I'm working on it. I love the match. Here's my thing. It should have been 10 minutes longer. It should have been 10 minutes longer, or at least 5, bro. Like, I felt they had to rush to get to some of their spots. I was fully invested in the match. I'm fully invested in the history between these two wrestlers. I'm fully invested in Mark Briscoe as a character of wrestling. I have sympathy for him because he's lost family that was close to him. I love that he's an underdog story every single time. I love that they made him a champion. That's something I don't think WWE would have the guts to do. Fully committed to Mark Briscoe. And I was on Kyle Fletcher a long ass time ago when he was in a tag team that was an irrelevant tag team, and his partner got hurt and they gave him a singles run, and we talked about it on the show, and I was like, yo, man, this dude's like a little Randy Orton kind of, only he's not little. He's just a little bit smaller and shorter than Randy Orton, and he's got personality, and he's developed that personality over time. I'm fully invested in these guys. I needed 10 more minutes.
How did they determine how long these matches are anyway?
And I didn't get it. Well, this wasn't a pay-per-view. This was a collision. So they're only given so much time from the distributor, which is TBS, I want to say. I recorded, so I'm not flipping channels to it, although I watched this one live. So they're restricted on the amount of time they have on air on TV, and they can't cut into the championship match for obvious reasons. So their match had to be cut a little short. But I'm like, then start the show with them so that if they go long, you take some time out of the hair versus hair match or something like that. Because this match was awesome.
Why don't they ever say, "Hey, get down to the ring a little quicker"? If we're starving for airtime, why does every entrance have to be 6 minutes? Watch a guy go, "Oh, everyone's cheering for me. Oh, great. Let's listen to Seth Rogen's song 7 more times longer." Seth Rollins.
Seth Rogen. No, Seth Rogen's way better. I wish he had his own theme music. All right, finally, and I thought the ladder match could have been the main event, by the way, and you could have had this as like a co-main event, but you have to have the championship represented at the end of the show. I get that, so F me. But MJF versus Brody King. Brody King earned this match by quickly defeating MJF when MJF got distracted by Hangman Adam Page. Brody King put him in a sleeper hold, choked him out, threw him in the ring, hit him with his butt, hit him with his finisher, pinned him 1, 2, 3, boom, got the title shot. Now they're in Australia dealing with spiders, insects, and brown snakes. MJF talked shit to all the Australian press all week long, stayed fully in character, said Australia sucks, you suck, your food's okay.
Amazing.
Like, he just shit on everything he could. It was awesome. The crowd really reacted the right way. They loved Brody. They gave him his love. MJF, they gave him his hate, although they give him love too. It is MJF. The match was really, really good. However, MJF's not losing this match. Everybody knew he wasn't going to lose the match, so he obviously won the match. Hangman came out, sort of fake punched him, like, "Oh, you flinched, 2 for flinching, boom, boom." And then we get to set up for Revolution, where we get a match where we don't know who's going to win, but it's going to be MJF. Jeff, how'd you like the main event of AEW's G'day Mate Wrestling?
Anytime MJF gets on airtime, that's what I'm there for. I can do no wrong.
That's easy enough.
Still waiting for him to disappoint me, and it's been years. It hasn't happened.
Yeah, you're dead on with that too. So Grand Slam Collision sort of puts the foundation down for all the championship arcs, for the rise of Kyle Fletcher. Tekla's looking good. She's the new champ. I said that earlier, top of the show, at the bottom of the show, basically. The time limit draw leads to Moxley and Takeshita, hopefully at Revolution, and all roads lead to Revolution or the Elimination Chamber this week on Wrestling with Friends. With me, as always, is the great Jeff Dye. With us, as always, is our great producer, Alex. I'm Freddie. Thanks for listening. See you next week. Peace.
We out.